Alright, yo, what's up? My name is Patrouski, and today the topic of the video is going to be shiny devaluing. Now, today we're going to be looking at a piece of history in PokeMMO. This was a forum post made around the time the, what's it called, PTS, Public Test Server, was released for Sinnoh. So people are really excited for Sinnoh, but there was a lot of new hordes coming into play, and some people were angry, some people were frustrated, some people were just saying, hey, here's the changes, etc., etc. But every time new regions come out, new hordes come out, and that means different shinies become less rare, more rare, not usually less rare. A lot of shinies get devalued, is what we call it, you know? When a shiny goes from having just a single encounter in the wild to having, oh, now a 3 times horde or a 5 times horde, obviously it's going to devalue that shiny. We've seen shinies go from like 50 mil value all the way down to 3 mil in the matter of an update, which is, it's always going to happen, and it's just the way the game works, and it's just the way any sort of system works. It happens with trading card games, with reprints, it happens with Pokemon, it happens with pretty much everything, and that's okay. It's something you need to be okay with and become okay with as a player. There obviously is a line where it's okay to be protectionist of like super rare shinies. Like, we never want to see like Beldum have like a ×5 horde. We never want to see Charmander or any of the starters get like a ×3 or even a ×5 horde, and that's okay. It seems like the devs understand that. Like, there's some protectionist elements to it, which are fair and make sense, but at the same time, you don't want to be too overly conservative, is I guess the concern here. But anyway, let's go ahead and look at this forum post. So here we see Murkrow becoming a ×3 horde back in the day when it was a pretty rare shiny. Magmar was a cool one. Magmar was I remember such a rare shiny back in the day, and then ended up getting a ×5 horde, which was pretty mind-blowing, going from like, I think it was single encounter, and it was like uncommon or rare single encounter to ×5 horde was a big shift. Quagsire, this is a funny one to think about today. This is a very funny one to me. I don't think Quagsire was ever that rare of a shiny, but the fact that him getting a ×3 horde was like groundbreaking is very, very funny to me, when there's literally like a ×5 Whooper horde right next to the PC and Island 4 Kanto. It's a really good farm spot. The idea of like Quagsire being devalued is funny to me. It's always been a pretty common shiny, but it's a great looking shiny, to be fair. But I don't know why this one gives me a smile, just like Quagsire's little smile here. Nosepass is an interesting one. Nosepass was a pretty rare shiny for a long time. I always forget that nowadays it has a horde. Yeah, Nosepass has like a ×3 or a ×5 horde nowadays. Quick note, not all of these actually made it into the game. I'm pretty sure Magmar made it into the game somewhere, whether here or not, but I think Murkrow might even have a ×5 horde, either ×3 or ×5. I could be wrong. I've played PokeMMO for a long time, but I don't remember every single Pokemon's hordes, so apologies for that. I think Nosepass does have a ×5 nowadays, which is pretty interesting. Or it might be a ×3. I could be wrong. This is a really cool Pokemon. A really cool Pokemon to see go from, like, really, really rare to a ×5 encounter. Is pretty crazy. I would love to get myself a Nosepass OT shiny one day. I think that's the best way to think about it. Like, if a shiny that you own gets devalued, it stings a little, but at the same time, you got to think like, hey man, I already have it. I had that, I had that different journey. That's okay. That journey doesn't need to be. It's kind of like the, oh, I had a tough time, so the person after me has to have a tough time. You don't got to think like that. Like, that's, the next person hunting it can have an easy hunt, or an easier hunt. That's okay. No shiny hunted Pokemon is ever, quote unquote, easy. This is the Ralts horde. This was a big deal. This one did come. Ralts getting a ×3. Snorunt getting a ×5. That's fair, honestly. Snorunt, I don't think should be a super giga rare shiny. Snorunt getting a ×5 is pretty fair. Buizel getting a ×3. This is hilarious. Buizel was like, I remember it being a pretty rare shiny, a pretty rare like single encounter, but who cares about Weasel and Floatzel? I feel like maybe I'm being too harsh. Apologies to the Weasel and Floatzel fans out there, but I feel like you're in limited numbers. Here's a Misdrevious horde. I think there's actually a 5 times Misdrevious horde nowadays, which is pretty cool. And Sneasel did end up getting a ×5 horde. Even in Unova, I believe there's one. But this guy is basically just calling them, rare to trash. We'll go ahead and just go through this. We'll even go through the forum for a little bit. So, this person named Magmar was in a horde. Can't, so don't panic. I think this was true temporarily. There's actually been a couple hordes in PokeMMO that were around temporarily. So I'm trying to think of a good example. I believe there was like I can't think of one. There's been some crazy, Heracross. Heracross is one. Heracross or Pinsir, I forget which one. I'm pretty sure it was Heracross. Heracross temporarily had a ×5 horde, which is insane. I believe in Kanto. I think it was in Berry Bush, but that was pretty insane for the time. So Let's go ahead and look at this. Not really a problem. The value dropped a long time ago. Yeah, I think this is fair. I think just being able to move on is really important. I think this comment might be my favorite from Quacks. It's very short and simple, and to the point. Shiny market changed every time when a region came out. Nothing new. I think it's nice to try to have a positive thing of the poster and be like, yeah, he's just posting so that people are informed. I don't think he's trying to complain too much, but maybe he. I don't know. I try to be a little more positive about it. But I like this short, simple, and sweet. Honestly, true. And this is a good one that we don't know if they'll be released yet. We don't know yet if the hordes on the release will be even matches from PTS, and even if they do, the shiny rate isn't going to change, so it's still going to be a challenge to find one in a horde. True. As for their value, it doesn't really matter since shinies are always going to be worth a nice chunk. You can always drive money if it bothers you that much. This, I don't like the last part. Not a great argument, but the rest is pretty fair. Nobody cares about people. Blah, blah. Here's Awk, which is funny. This is a good meme. So this is from my team leader Aki Ways, the absolute king. This is one of my favorite memes. This is a screenshot from the second Unova PTS. So they actually teased / memed. Dude, the devs, the PokeMMO devs, if you don't know yet, are huge fucking memers. They turbo memed and baited us and like tried to convince us that there was going to be a Metang horde. That never happened, obviously. As probably everyone knows, these were never added. Things aren't always as they seem. Sometimes they add stuff just to screw with us. I wouldn't go make any solid predictions on what will fall in value based on PTS. Wait until the changes hit the live servers, and then if you want to complain, by all means, go ahead. If they do add hordes above that, I'd personally be all for it. More stuff to shiny hunt. I like this a lot. I really do I like the mentality of more stuff to shiny hunt. I think that's a good way to go about it. Like, even if you already have the shinies, there's going to be some that you don't have, and you just got to look at the positives and think about, hey, like, here's some cool ones to go. But anyways, that pretty much covers most of this. I wanted to go ahead and cover this because I made a video on shiny devaluing recently. I wanted to give more thoughts on it, as well as cover a pretty historic forum post. So hopefully you guys found this entertaining, learning about the history of PokeMMO. There's a lot to talk about with it. The game's been out for around a decade now, so it's pretty cool. It's pretty dear to me. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. Make sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for future PokeMMO content. Check out all the playlist links down below. Join the Discord for more content and see whenever I'm live on YouTube and everything like that. And then finally, if you want to go above and beyond and support the channel and allow me to keep making content full time, you can become a YouTube member for $5 a month. Drop a Twitch Prime or Twitch sub over my Twitch, or head on my Patreon or my Venmo down below. Thanks for listening to that spiel. I gotta do it. The reminders are helpful. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day. Hopefully your shinies don't get too devalued. Peace.